Welcome to another fishing video. It's Monday the 6th of March today. We're in March, we're out of February, we're out of that, hopefully we're out of that spell of just little whiting and little dabs. Hopefully that spell was done. Apologies for my last video. The first time I'd ever used this camera before, the one I'm using now, the microphone on the top is a tiny little microphone, and when that wind picks up, that really blows inside the microphone there. I have got a case for the camera, but I've bought an extra screen to put on the back of the camera. When the screen is on there, it doesn't fit in the case. Shouldn't be a problem today. I normally leave in the morning to go fishing. It is now currently 12:30 lunchtime. I'm not doing a day's fish today. I'm doing afternoon, evening and a night fish. Taking the beach shelter with me, so the camera will be set up inside the beach shelter, so there should be no problem with the elements today, the wind getting involved in the audio or the sound. Sticking local, I'm literally going South Beach, Great Yarmouth, right down the bottom, right down by the Premier Inn. Lived here now, 11-12 years. I've never ever fished that far down South Beach. Normally North Beach, Central Beach, but I've never fished down South Beach. Like I say, the last few weeks we've been kind of chasing the fish around. We heard reports there was good fish coming out of Weybourne, so we went up there. Then we heard there was good fish coming out down sort of Pakefield, Corton Waste, we went there. Then we heard good fish coming out Case, we went chasing the fish, not catching the fish, still getting the whiting and the dabs. So I've not heard a report from South Beach Yarmouth for absolutely ages. So I'm just going to hit it blind and hopefully hope for the best. Hope a few cod come out, hopefully a few rays come out, hopefully a few dogfish come out. Just something a bit better than those little whiting and those little dabs, because they've been getting a bit, haven't they? Yeah, got my beach shelter, I'll go for it. It's going to be a cold one tonight. We are just started that cold snap. This is the week of they're predicting a cold snap. We've got northerly winds coming down, which is bringing the cold down, and they reckon there's a chance of snow, sleet, sort of early hours of the morning. So I'm literally going to leave now. I want to get to Gorson Tackle Centre. I'll pick some bait up. I haven't ordered anything, so I'm hoping they got some fresh lug. I've got some squid already from Poundals. I want to get there and get set up before it starts raining. I want to get my beach shelter up so I can get all my stuff, my cooking stuff and everything in the beach shelter. So at least if it rains, all my stuff is dry. So that is the plan. So I will see you when I'm on South Beach, Great Yarmouth. Right, just arrived where I'm parking up. I wanted to get here before it started raining, so I could get everything set up and get everything in the beach shelter. It's starting to drizzle already. It's 1:30 and it's drizzling. I'm literally just parked. That's the new, I say the new Premier Inn, it's been there a couple of years now. I'm literally where that car park is. I'm going straight through that gap and down them stairs. So my plan is I'm going to take the beach shelter down. I'm going to take my rods and my tackle box down, get the beach shelter set up, get the rod set up. G and Si are popping down just for a couple of hours, but they'll be here in about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So I'm going to get the beach shelter set up, get the rod set up. By the time I've done that, G and Si will be there. Then I can walk back up to the car and I can grab the bag with all my chair and my cooking stuff and all the rest of it, so I can get that straight in the beach shelter so it all stays nice and dry. So, oh, right, it's going to be a tough night. I know that already. I can already feel it. Right, so let's get the stuff down there. Let's get down there and we'll start getting set up. Oh, right, we're getting there. Beach shelter set up. All my stuff's in the beach shelter, so if it does absolutely chuck it down now, if it's going to stay dry. I've got the tripod set up, the rods are on the tripod. I ain't set them up as yet. I'm in the shelter, obviously don't want to get the camera in the wind too much. I'm guessing this line here was this morning's high tide line. Tide at the moment is there, but I've still got 6 hours yet till high tide. High tide's 8:30 tonight. It's currently now 2 o'clock, so it's like low water now. So I reckon in 6 hours it probably could get up there. Hopefully it don't come up too much past there, because I'm only here. But where I've set my beach shelter up, I've got the dunes and that right behind me. So when this wind comes across, this north easterly winds, northern winds, hopefully that's going to protect me a little bit as well. G's down there, he's just got here, Si's just got here, they're setting up. Like I say, they're only going to be here for like 2-3 hours. They've just come down, just do a little bit, a couple of hours. As soon as it starts getting dark, they're going to shoot off. No, rain's starting to come down now already. It's starting to rain already, which is what I'm saying. Let me close this tackle box up. So that's why I just wanted to get here, get everything set up, and then that way I don't care what the weather does, I am going to stay dry. Simple as that. I mean, I've got a waterproof jacket, I've got waterproof trousers, I've got my hat, I've got everything I need, but I just didn't want all the gear getting wet. Do you know what I mean? This bag here, I've got my night lights, little radio, my frying pan for the morning. Like, I just wanted to keep all that dry, which I've achieved. Right, let's start getting these baited up, well, rigged up, baited up. I'm going to take them down a little bit further, and we'll have a cast in and we'll see what's about. Oh, right, here we go, back to do the first cast of the day. The time now is exactly 2:30. That is low water right now at this moment in time. That is low tide, so give it half hour or so, that should start coming in. I'm bringing my jacket down with me as well. I'm going to put the camera behind the jacket a little bit because of that wind. I don't want that wind noise all on me videoing again. Oh, let's put that there like so. Right, let's get this bait in the water. Oh, quickly, just quickly. So left hand side, 2 hook flapper. What are they, 30 centimetre snoods on there, and I've just got a bit of black on there. I'll show you my bait in a minute. Right hand side, pulley pennel, whole squid. That length till it goes up, till it hits that's got to be about 1 metre long. So that's going to be about 1 metre long away from the weight in the water. Right, let's get this out there. Wind's behind me a little bit as well, so I should be able to get a pretty good distance, especially on the pulley pennel. Right, there we go, we are out there. Like I say, that wind's behind me a little bit, so that pulley pennel, that's gone out. If I catch any fish on that, they're going to be speaking Dutch, I'll tell you. That's gone right out. So, oh, right, let me get back here a second and I'll go through my bait. I'll show you what I've got for bait today. Right, bait wise, I've got a squid that I had left over from last week. Where did we fish last week? Oh, we was at Corton last week. I had a whole bag of squid, didn't even get used. So that went back in the freezer, got frozen, thawed out last night for today. That was some poundals. I went Galston Tackle Centre this morning. I went to get some fresh lug, which he had in, which was lucky, because if you don't book it sometimes. Let's have a look, I haven't even opened this yet. Fresh lug. Look how fat that body is or something. Look, I'm going to save these for later though when it gets dark, so that's when it's going to fish better, as soon as it starts getting dark. So that's my fresh lug. And then I was just on my way to the freezer to pick up some frozen, and he goes, I've got some fresh blacks in as well. So they're in these little wraps as you get them, but we have got some fresh blacks as well, which I don't mind the frozen blacks, but when you thaw them out they get a bit bitty and they break up, but these are just, they're not coming off once they go on the hook. That's what I've got on the left hand side. I put a bit of frozen black on the left, bit of fresh black on the 2 hook flapper. That's just, I guarantee if I don't catch a fish on that 2-3 casts, they're still going to be on there. and then right hand side, that's what I put that whole squid on. Rain is coming down now quite hard. Don't know if you can hear it on the top of the shelter. Rain's coming down. I'm feeling a bit sorry for the boys at the moment there. Oh, they're just standing out there in the bloody rain. But like I say, if it weren't for the fact I was night fishing, I wouldn't even have bought the shelter. Normally, if we just do 2-3 hours fishing, I don't mind standing on the beach. But knowing I was going to be here all night, and knowing that they're predicting -1 tonight, and they're predicting snow and sleet, I thought, yeah, definitely bring the shelter. And I'll tell you what, when I'm down there casting, that's bottom, that is really sandy. I say more sandy than Central and North Beach. There's quite a few stones on the Yarmouth beach as you get up there. That is pure sand. So that is absolutely ideal for flatfish. Dabs, like I say, place, I can't remember the last time I had a place out along here, Yarmouth or Galston. I've not had a place for, oh, mate, that's got to be a couple of years. Like, they've all been dabs. And it was only sort of last summer, tail end of last summer, G pulled that thornback grey out. But again, a nice sandy bottom. The flatfish love a sandy bottom. So that is the plan. So hopefully get sand on that left hand 2-hook flapper. Right hand side, like I say, big bait. That is after a nice big thornback grey, a nice big cod, a nice big dogfish. Like I say, we'll just see what happens. We will see. Anyway, I'm all set up. That's it. Rods are out. Like I say, all my gear's all in there. Got a little radio here. It's only a little wind up one. Got dynamo or something in it, so you just wind it up. And so like I say, because I'm going to be on my own tonight, I was going to go Corton tonight. That was the plan. But do you know what? Corton is quite isolated when you're down that Tramps Alley. And fishing on my own down there at night, I thought 2, 3, 4 in the morning, I don't know, you fall over or you cut yourself, I don't know, you're very isolated there. You are in the middle of nowhere. So I thought if I'm on my own, I thought I'd come down here, South Beach. Like I say, it's on my doorstep. I literally only live at the other end of the beach. I've got a hotel behind me. I've got Albie's taxis right behind me. It's just a bit more populated at night. I'm not saying I'm a wuss or nothing, but I just didn't really relish, yeah, being in Corton all night on my own. So the wind at the moment is coming across that way, but looking at the weather, it is going to slightly turn and it is going to start coming from behind. That's why I've put the beach shelter up this way. So literally for the next, we're saying for the next sort of hour or so, that way, and then it will turn. But I'm still dry. I'm bone dry in here. Bone dry. So all good. Right, I'm going to yeah, keep an eye on those rods and hopefully we get something decent out. Right, that is it. Got me waterproof. Got me waterproof trousers on. Put my jacket on. Like I say, I don't really want to get wet. I know I'm going to get a bit wet later when the rain starts coming down, but I've got waterproofs. But if I get wet now, that's it. I'm going to be absolutely freezing cold later. So get the waterproofs on. Rain's eased off a little bit now anyway. I want to take it all down in a minute, have a reel in, check the bait situation, see what's going on. That's been out there for 15-20 minutes. G said my one on the left was tapping a little bit, but he just pulled out a crab about 10 minutes ago, so that could be a crab having a little go at that left hand one. But I want to take them all down, reel them in and have a little check and yeah, see what's going on down there. Yeah, I think there was a little crab having a go at it, because when I reeled that 2-hook flapper in on the left, there was a crab's leg on there. So as I've done that to like do the breakaway to reel it in, I reckon it's just caught the end of the crab as he was like trying to have a little pick at it. So I brought the leg in. So that worm that the crab was having a go at, stripped down a little bit. So fresh worm on there, bottom worm was fine. Reeled the right hand side in, pulley pennel, absolutely nothing. He's had a little murmur at that squid. Whole squid is still on there, all intact. So I've thrown that back out there as well. And again, with that wind slightly behind me, it's quite surprising how fast you can cast out, I'll tell you, with a bit of wind behind you. So yeah, all good, all good. Right, G's got us off. First catch of the day, got a little dab. Mottled skin, innit? Ain't a clean one. No. But I wouldn't like to eat him. No, I wouldn't like to eat him. But there you go, it's your little dab, first catch of the day. And that is, I don't know, how long have we been fishing now? But he was doing a little dance then, he's well happy. I pulled out a crab a minute ago, absolutely massive, 3:30. So what we've been fishing, an hour, something like that. But that's it, tide's on the way in now. When I was down there earlier, you can see the tide was quite down there away from my tripod. That's getting nearer my tripod. So the tide is on the way in, and as the tide's coming in, hopefully it's bringing a few fish in with it. But like I say, I had on my pulley pennel, a really good knock, and I thought, here we go, I thought something decent. I pulled it in, and it was a crab. But it was a massive crab. reeling in. I thought there was something on there. Oh well, there we go. We've had a dab out. At least someone's caught something. Get in he. He always catches first, doesn't he? I don't know why I introduced him to beach fishing. Nice one, G. Well done, mate. Right, it's 4:30, so we have been here 2 hours now. G's just pulled another dab out. Again, only a little one, bit bigger than the first one he pulled out. But again, nothing too nothing too great. I've had nothing out as yet. I caught that crab earlier, and that is it. I've tried fresh lug on the left, frozen. I've got the frozen back out, not the frozen, the blacks, the fresh blacks. I've got that back out there at the moment on the left. Still got the whole squid on the right, pulley pennel. Size had nothing out. He's had a couple of bites, nothing out. Like I say, G's the only one that's had those 2 dabs out so far. So it's 4:30. Tide is really on the turn now. That's really coming up. A couple of times now I've had to move the tripods back. High tide tonight is 8 o'clock. So I've got 4 hours till high tide. And I'm hoping, like I say, it comes up to where that mark is there. Because any further than that, like I say, I'm up against the edge there. So I'm hoping it's not a majorly high tide tonight. But I reckon as soon as it gets dark, that's when I reckon I'll do well. As soon as that light falls, I always do better at night fishing. As soon as that light goes, that's it, I'll do well. And like I say, I've got my stove and that down there, so I've got a couple of pot noodles and that to have later for my dinner. And I've got my frying pan, I've got some sausages, a couple of eggs and that to do for breakfast in the morning. So yeah, I'm all set for the night. So just fingers crossed we can get something out. Oh, right, there we go, we've saved the blank. Just pulled a whiting out. Nothing too great, and he's only just hooked in there, look. Just hooked on. And that was on the fresh blacks. Oh, saved the blank though, innit? Nice. Oh, so there we go, little whiting. That's the least it saved the blank. But I don't just want that little whiting, I want to get something a bit better than that out, do you know what I mean? Bloody hell. So, squid's gone back out on the right hand side. I'll just put fresh worm on that left, threw that back out. Bloody bent down to get some bait, and I've ripped my bloody waterproof trousers in, I look. As I went like that. Oh. And I'm getting a little bit concerned about this tide, I'm not going to lie. It is 5 o'clock. So I've got 3 hours until high tide. Yeah? Tide is there. This morning's tide mark is here. I mean, you think my rod rest now is only like nigh on where the tide mark is. When I started fishing 2 hours ago, I was bloody all the way down there. That tide is racing in. That's this morning's tide mark, and I'm here. Yeah, get a little concerned about that. So I'm thinking I'm gonna leave all this bagged up for now. I'm not gonna do the stove and my pot noodle and all that till after high tide tonight, just in case I have to grab everything and run back with it. It'd just be grab the rod rest, run it back, grab that bag, that's in one go. Tackle box is still on the trolley. I mean, you just don't know, do you? But like I say, looking at where that is and looking where the tide is, and the fact that we've still got 3 hours. But then even if it comes up to here in 3 hours, is it going to then get from there to there? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And like I say, I'm not going to unpack the stove and start making pot noodles and that yet until I've hit that high tide mark. But the rain's eased off. We've had no rain for the last couple of hours, have we? Just saying, we had no rain for a couple of hours. No. I was saying to the camera, I'm getting worried about this tide mark and how quick it's coming in. Huh?
Black cloud.
Black cloud over there coming in. But it's 5 o'clock. Well, G's only going to be here till 6. Si's only going to be here till 6. As soon as it gets dark, they're going to make a move. Like I say, I reckon even by the time they make a move, that tide's going to be up on bloody there. What can you do, innit? You can't fight the tide, can you? What's his name tried that? What's his name? King Canute, was it? Was it King Canute? Sat on the beach, told the tide to... Something like that, innit? Some old story. Oh, right, come on, let's get something decent out. Oh, number 2. I know it looks exactly the same as the last one, but that is a different one. That's number 2. That's definitely saved the blank. But what I'm going to do, I don't want this video to be too long, so if I keep catching these little white little dabs, I'm not going to keep coming back. I'm literally just going to come on if I get something decent out. Right, number 2, so definitely a blank saved. Well, I said I weren't going to come back if I something small, but I've got to show you this. I literally think that is the smallest dab I've ever had out in my life. Right, that's all cool around as well. I know I've had some small dabs before, but I don't think I've ever had anything that small. I mean, you know you can see through dabs, but I mean you can literally see my finger through them. Bloody hell. So just gone 5:30 and that is it. The boys have just left. G's heading home, Si's heading home. G's winding me up. He's like, oh, I want to go home, I'm going to get a takeaway tonight, I'm going to get Chinese tonight. Because he knows I've got my pot noodle. And I'll tell you what, that sky's coming over dark. I think it's going to chuck it down in a minute. It's coming over dark. So that little dab come off, went back in, I put some fresh bait on, that's gone out. I've still got a whole squid on the right hand side. Tide is still really racing in. Oh, here we go. And that's predicted, here comes that rain. Oh, you hear it on the roof. Definitely gonna need this beach shelter tonight, that's for sure. And they're saying early hours, they're saying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, chance of snow. So we will see. But that wind is still more of a westerly than a northerly, and all the snow is meant to be coming down from the north. So I don't know if that wind direction changes, we might get a bit of snow come down. But at the moment, like I say, it's more of a westerly wind, really. But oh well, at least I know I'm going to be nice and dry tonight, that's for sure. Might be cold, but I'll be dry. Right, it is 7:15, well and truly lost the light. I've got an hour and 15 until high tide. This tide, oh look, wet patches there. Some of the tide's coming up to here, and I'm there. Oh my God. I mean, what do I do? Would it go up there in an hour? Oh, I really don't know what to do. I mean, it's kind of down there. This light is going to do absolutely nothing for it. It's kind of down there, the tide, but look, every now and then we get a rogue wave that comes up to here, and then from there, my rods are here, and my beach shelter's only here. Oh, I really don't know what to do. Like I say, well, everything, all my stove and cooking stuff's all still in the bag there. My flask and all that, I might put back in that bag, and that's my rod hold all stuff there. So it literally just be grab that, grab the bag with the flask in, the bait and the trolley. This ain't going to go nowhere. If some waves come up here, they're only going to be rogue waves, and they're just going to come up here like a little bit. They're not going to it's not going to wash all this out. But I just don't want a rogue wave coming in and getting all my gear wet, do you know what I mean? Like I say, we've got, what, an hour and 15 minutes till high tide. I'll put 2 night lights on the end of the rods. Put 2 of those, you know, the ones that you... But you know what, the ones I normally have, they have a little clip on them. And you can clip them on the end of the rod. These haven't got no clips in the little sachet. They're just night lights. Oh, I've got a little bit of electrical tape in my box, which I've used to put on. But as you know, electrical tape is not exactly sticky. So I've had to wrap it round. I don't think they're going to last the night casting out. I think I'm going to do a cast at some point, and both them night lights are just going to like come flying off the end of the bloody rod. That's what I think. I don't think they're going to last the night. I'm not concerned about that. I'm not worried about that. Do you know what I mean? I'm more worried about this tide coming up. What are we going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, put that light on me. What we're going to do about this tide coming up? I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I say, well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get everything sort of in the bags and get everything kind of ready. So if need be, if I do need to make a runner for it, I mean, I ain't got far to run. Look, the thing's there, and I've only got to go up that little gap. It's there, literally. It's 20 yards away. It's not far. It's not like I've got. And once I'm up on there, I'm safe. And then once the tide's gone out, then obviously I can like bring the stuff back down. But like I say, I've still got. I don't know. I might give it another sort of half hour. If it's touching that, if it starts touching the rod rests by 7:15, 7:30. Then I'm just gonna like, yeah, grab the stuff, get it out the beach shelter, get it up there, wait like half hour for the tide to turn, and then take it down. That's all I can do. But I'm gonna leave it all in the bags. I'm gonna get it all bagged up in case I do have to make a run for it. Fingers crossed I don't. Keeping an eye on them rods. Like I say, them night lights ain't gonna last. Normally you put a clip round one way and a clip round the other way and it keeps them on there. But they're not, there's no clips in them, and they're literally just the night lights, that's all they are. Electrical tape ain't the best of juice, especially on a damp night as well. It's damp and it's cold and it's wet, so that's gonna come unstuck. And I know what's gonna happen, I'm gonna do a cast and I'm gonna see one of my night lights go bloody flying out to sea. Right, this next hour and a half is like gonna be the most crucial point of the time, I'll tell you that now. Let's see what we can do, let's see what happens. Oh, right, that was eventful. What's my lamp doing? I zoomed in too much, get it wide. That was eventful. Right, it's 10 to 8, so I've got 10 minutes till a high tide. We've done it, look, we're all right. The most these waves are coming up to is here, and I'm set up over there. We've done it, we've got away with the tide. Left hand side was knocking a little bit. I striked it, started reeling it in, got caught on a snag. I don't understand, like, this is just flat sand all the way out. We've hit no snags all day whatsoever. So whether the tide as it's coming in has brought something in with it, got caught with a snag, done the left, done the right, up and down, ended up losing it. The line just went on me. Reeled in quite a bit of line, so how far out it snapped, I don't know. But I managed to reel in quite a bit of line. I've got no spare spools with any shock leader line on it. They've all just got £20 main line. Oh, I've got a shock leader in my box, £60 shock leader. I normally only use 50, 60. So I've just, yeah, I've done the length of the rod and a bit extra. I cut that off with the shock leader, tied the new shock leader onto the £20 main line, done that, and then I've put a new trace on the left hand side. I have got a 2-hook flapper rig on the left hand side, but it's one up, one down. So the one that's down is hanging right down below the weight. It's a flatty one I made up ages ago. It's actually got little beads on it, and it's got a stopper as well to stop the beads going up. It's got the little beads which obviously knock, and as the beads knock, that supposedly does attract flatfish. So that's what I've put on there with the 2 bits of black. Right hand side I put a fresh bit of squid on there, that's gone out. My night lights are still on there, they haven't come unstuck yet and come off, so that's good. But like I say, the main thing is I have not got to move. I'm going to be fine with this tide. So I'm going to get the stove out now. I'm going to get some water boiled up in the kettle. I'm going to refill my flask. I'm going to do my pot noodle. I can just chill a little bit now and concentrate on the fishing. That is what I can do. Where's my other light? Because that is going to be too bright in your face. Let me turn that one off. Oh, sorry people. And turn that one on. Where's the on button? There. Right, so yeah, so that's the plan now. Let's get some water boiled up. Let's refill the flask. Let's do a pot noodle. I want to get my other lamp out as well. Where's my other one? I've got a beach one in there. Again, I didn't want to get this out earlier because, like I say, I was too unsure about that tide. Right, that's that on. I'll leave that there for now under the tripod. So that my lamp's on, beach lamp's on. I'm going to hook that up in a second under there. I'm going to hook that on so it lets a bit of light out. Right, let's get some water in the kettle. Let's get this kettle boiled. Oh, right, there we go. Kettle is boiled. So I've done my pot noodle, chicken and mushroom. Not normally a fan of pot noodles, but you know what, when it's on the beach and it's quite cold. Sand is quite cold. Warmer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be absolutely bitter tonight. It's not actually too bad. Anyway, so kettle's boiled, done my pot noodle. I put the boiling water in the flask. I've put it on again. I bought a big litre bottle of water with me. I filled the kettle up again. I'm going to boil that up again, get that nice and boiled. Put that in the flask, so that'll give me like nice hot water all night for tea then. I ain't got to mess around boiling any more water. I won't use the stove again now until the morning when I'll do my breakfast. I've got some sausages and I've got an egg as well. I'm going to do myself a little fried egg. Like I say, bait's all in the water. We're out there, we're fishing. Just need to get some fish. G had those two dabs when he was here. I had those 2 whiting out. I had that whiting out, the last one, just as them guys were leaving. I've had nothing out since. Tide's on the turn now though, and I always do better when the tide is heading out. So fingers crossed as that tide starts running out, you start getting a few bites. Anyway, I'm going to go and enjoy my pot noodle, if you can enjoy a pot noodle. I'm going to go and eat my pot noodle, and yeah, let's hopefully get something decent out. Oh, just pulled out a dab, tiny little fin, and as I was reeling him up, he literally just fell off the hook on the beach there as well, just as I was bringing him in. What did he take? That was the blacks. That was the blacks. That's it now. I think I've used all the... Oh, I might have one little bit of the black left. Let's get him back in there. There you go, mate. Swim the other way. Swim the other way. Oh, that's a big wave. Oh, that's taking him, that's for sure. I think I've got a little bit of the blacks left, and then after that, it'd be the fresh lugworm then. Oh. I'll just show you that that trace I'm using. So like I say, that last one got snagged, I lost it. So this one, we got a hook right down there below the weight. I'll just put the last of the black on there, and we got a hook up here just above the weight, and the last of the black. That's it. That's all them blacks on there now. And what are these snoods? Again, 30 odd centimeters. And they've got the beads on there. So at night, I don't mind using the beads at night because they're like they're an attractor. The beads knock and they attract the fish. Here we go, right hand side. This was the pulley pennel. Top hook is up here. Top hooks come up the line. Bottom hook, whiting. And I'll tell you what, he's not actually a bad size. He's not too bad. I don't think he's over 27. I don't think he'd be a keeper, but he's not bad. Right, let's get him unhooked and we'll get him back in. You know what, I'm saying he ain't that big, but oh, get on there, mate, get on there. Get your tail down there. 29. Ooh. He's coming at 29. Which ain't bad. He's keeper size. He's a bit skinny though. He ain't got too much of a fat body on him. Let's wait for this wave. There you go, mate. He's gone. Oh, yeah, he ain't got much of a body on him. He's pretty skinny. But 29. He was a keeper, but oh, the only thing I'm after keeping tonight is if I get a nice cod out. That is all I'm after keeping. Oh, right, so that one that whiting was just on, I've just cast it out. I'll put a bit of a cocktail bait on that. I'll put a squid on there, whole squid, and I had a few scraggly bits of that black left, just a few, so I've, yeah, put bait elastic around it against the squid and then put that on the pulley pennel. So that is the last of the blacks. I've just had a look in that bag. I think I've got 5 whole squid left. It's only 9:30, maybe 10:15 at the latest. So I've still got a few hours of fishing left yet. And I've still got the worm, I've still got the fresh lug. So, I don't know whether to just put a 2 hook flapper on the right hand side and then I can sort of cut the squid up a bit and just put little bits on. I might wait till I get down to like the last 2 squid. I'll wait till I get down. Once I'm down to the last 2 bits of squid, then I'll put a 2 hook flapper on the right hand side and then I can just cut the squid down and use it as like little bits of bait. And I've got, do you know what? I've got all the torches on the light. If I turn this off, it will be pitch black. But from the naked eye point of view, let me turn that one off and turn that one off. So that's all the torches off. That's boats out there at sea. But behind me there, we've got a car park there that's part of that Premier Inn. And all the lights are on in that car park. And it's actually putting quite a bit of light on the beach. I know the camera's not going to pick it up, but just standing here with no light or no torch at all, just with the naked eye, I mean, I can see my rods, I can see the tips, I can see the beach shelter. So it's not actually a bad little spot to fish, really. Like when you fish down on North Beach, or if I did go to Corton would have been absolutely pitch black by now. There's absolutely no light pollution whatsoever down at Corton. That would be absolutely pitch black down there. But yeah, a little bit of light pollution here, so not too bad. The moon is up there somewhere. It keeps trying to poke through the clouds. It's now saying rain from about 11-12 o'clock. So I've been quite fortunate really, considering it was meant to be chucking it down with rain all day. Major northerly winds. I've actually been quite lucky. But let's not get carried away, because it's still saying at like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning we are due snow. So let's not get too carried away. Well, anyway, they're both baited up. They're now thrown out. I'm going to come over, I'm going to sit down, get in my little chair, and keep an eye on the rods. And yeah, keep saying it, hopefully get sown out. Well, do you know what? Since the tide is going out, I had those 2 whiting earlier, and that was when G and Si left. That was at like 5 o'clock, half 5. And it's been absolutely dead all night, absolutely quiet. And I did say that once that tide starts to turn, I will get a few knocks. And literally, since that tide's turned, I've had that little dab and that whiting, which was 29 centimetres, which ain't too bad for a whiting, but he didn't really have a thick body to him. He was a bit skinny. Anyway, I'm going to sit down in my chair, I'm going to take the weight off my feet, and we will keep an eye on these rods. Oh, right, it is 10:30. Oh mate, I'm glad I boiled that kettle and put all the boiling water in that flask, because that is absolutely piping hot. So it's 10:30, it's gone very quiet. I've just reeled the one in the left in, both the bits of worm have been stripped. I reeled the pulley pennel in, that was one that had that cocktail bait on there, massive crab on there, having the time of his life, stripping that squid and that worm down. So I think crabs are out there, and crabs are just stealing the bait, I think. But that little night light I had on the left hand side, both them night lights are still on there, none of them have come off yet. The one that was on the left is alright, I can see that quite clearly, when the torch ain't on it. The one on the right, that's getting really dim, it's really sort of, it's hard to see it. I need to invest, I need to get those little lights really. You can buy them, can't you? You can buy the lights, you put a little battery in and they connect to the end. I need to invest in some of them really. But I'm surprised that electrical tape stuff is holding up. I'm surprised. Oh, left hand side, is that little knock? Saying that the tide's well on its way out now, and I haven't moved the rods down. So I think the lines are going through the waves a little bit. Oh, just not quite as planned as I thought it would. Do you know what I mean? I thought it would be quite good down here tonight. I thought I'd get something decent out. I really thought I did, but it's not to be, it's not to be. Si's just messaged me. He's going Coulton tomorrow. He's going to do a day fish down Coulton. But like I say, I want to be done by the time I finish here at 8 o'clock or whatever in the morning. I don't think I'm going to be up for another whole day's fishing down there. I'll be ready just to pack up and make a move. G's going to pop back down in the morning. G's like, he always wakes up early. G wakes up like really early. He'd be awake at about 4 in the morning. So he said if he does his usual and does wake up about 4, he said he's going to pop down here and come and see me for a couple of hours. I think he's after nicking a bit of my breakfast in the morning, so he knows I've got sausages and sausage and egg on the go. But like I say, it's starting to get a bit chilly now. I was saying earlier how like I've done really well and it's hardly been cold. I was saying the temperature's been okay, but it's really starting to like drop a little bit now. I've had my gloves on for the last sort of half hour. It is really starting to get a bit fresh out here now. You could drink hot cups of tea, that's what you can do. Well, it's just coming up to midnight. No bites, nothing, absolutely nothing. Like I say, I think the crabs are out. I think the crabs are just stripping the bait straight away. The pulley pennel I got out there with the whole squid, that's sort of coming in kind of untouched a little bit. But the 2 hook flapper with the worm on there, the worm is just after like 15-20 minutes checking the bait, nothing even on there, nothing. So like I say, it's coming up to 12. I'm going to reel them in again now, have another little check. But it's just gone really quiet, like really quiet. Too quiet. I've just checked the weather again as well, and it's saying at 1 o'clock in the morning there is an 80% chance that we're going to get some snow, and that is going to continue to 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So we'll just give it an hour, see what the weather's doing in an hour, see if we get. I mean, it ain't going to be heavy snow. We're only going to get light dusting. Even if we do get some, it's not going to be like thick snow. Like I say, just a light little dusting. Anyway, I'm going to reel these in, check the bait, see what's going on. Oh, right, it's currently 1:45 in the morning. I think I was saying on my last video that it ain't that cold tonight. I'll take that back. The temperature has dropped. I just had to check on my phone. It is currently 2 degrees. Still saying chance of snow at 2 o'clock as well, which is in 15 minutes time. But the sky is kind of clear. It's not too overcast. Fish wise, absolutely nothing. I was bringing out clumps of weed a little while ago as well. That seems to have stopped. Just made a cup of tea as well. That flask is still keeping that water hot. Do you know that? I really do rate those metal flasks. Really do rate them. Yeah, I was bringing out big clumps of weed. Weed seems to have died down a little bit. Low water's got to be about, I guess, 2:30, 2:45, something like that. And then obviously it start turning and it start coming back in again. Worms running low as well. I think I've got about 5, 6 maybe of those fresh lug worms left. After that, it would just be squid. I'll have to just start cutting it up and putting little bits of squid on that flapper rig. I've had a little fox running around as well. Well, I say little, he's actually quite big. Foxes I thought were sort of like little things, but he's quite big, really bushy tail on him as well. He's been running around up and down the beach. But I think they're very sort of nervous animals, foxes. He's come nowhere near me. He sort of sensed I was here, but he ain't come nowhere near me. But he's been running around. But oh my god, as the temperature dropped, absolutely dropped. So, oh man, but it's been a bad night for the fishing really. We'll find out. I think I've only had like two whiting out. Oh, two whiting, 2 little dabs. It's been a bad night, but there you go. You just don't know, do you? You don't know it's going to be bad until you come out and fish, do you? Do you know what I mean? You got to come out and you got to do a bit. But I'll tell you what, I'm kind of looking forward to about 3-4 hours time when it starts to get a little bit lighter. Like I say, about 4, half 4ish, G might even pop back down. So we'll see. But like I say, we've got fresh bait out there. We'll keep an eye. Oh, left hand side. Left hand side was having a little bite, a little wobble then. I still haven't even moved the rods down. I haven't even moved the rods. The tide is all the way down there, and my rods are still up here. But there's no one walking up and down the beach obviously this time, so no one's going to get, like I say, when you get down towards the surf, the line's going to be pretty low down. But no one's really walking around, so no one's going to get caught up on it. Oh, that was nice. That was a nice cup of tea. So yeah, I'm oh, let me put the cup back down there. Yeah, that left hand side was just knocking a little bit, but I'll keep an eye on it. If it produces anything, I'll obviously I'll come back and I'll show you. Oh, well, that one I said was knocking. I thought it was knocking a little bit. I just reeled it in, and we have a little whiting on there. Absolute tiny pin, little whiting. I just had a check on my phone as well. Low water is 3 o'clock. Low tide is 3 o'clock in the morning. It's now currently half, so I've got half hour, and that's low tide, and then it's coming in. Right, let's get this little whiting off and we'll get him back in. We'll let him live to see another day. Right, that is it. It's literally about 5 to 3. I've just put fresh bait on there. I've got a whole squid on the right hand side, 2 fresh worms on the left. I've just replaced the battery in this as well. It was down to 1 bar and it'd been on 1 bar for a little while. So I thought, right, I might as well do it now, get it done, just in case I get anything decent and the battery packs up. And I've done all that just in the nick of time, because just as I was reeling them in a little bit and tightening them up, it's starting to have a little bit of sleet come down. There's a bit of a mixture between a bit of sleet and a bit of rain. I don't believe it. I think the weathermen have actually got it right. They did say about 3 o'clock. Can you believe it? So, right, we'll keep an eye on these. Like I say, that is low water now as well. So give it half hour, that tide will be coming back in. And this is exactly where we started this afternoon. When we got down there this afternoon, it was low water. Literally, we started fishing low water and we started fishing it coming in. So I'm just repeating exactly what I've done pretty much 12 hours ago now. But at least I know when the water does come in. I think high tide is 9 o'clock, and it's not obviously going to come up higher than what it did last night. It's a lower tide. So 9 o'clock high tide in the morning. If I'm still here at 9 o'clock, like I say, I'm just going to play it by ear. I never really like to pack up when it's dark. Whenever you pack up when it's dark, I know you got the torches, but you always leave something behind, always. So I always like to pack up when it's sort of daylight. And like I say, I think sunrise, I don't know, what's sunrise at the moment? 6:30ish, something like that maybe, 6:45, I don't know. But like I say, once the sun's up a bit, I'm definitely going to get the frying pan on the go, get them sausages done, get them egg done, have a little bite to eat. And by the time I've done that, that'll kind of be daylight. So, and again, on bait, play it by ear. I just had a look in that packet. I think I've got about 7 or 8 of those fresh worms left, and I think I've got about 4 whole squid left. So we just play it by ear, innit? What we're catching, how the weather's going, what bait we got left. Do you know what I mean? Quite a lot comes into it, really. So yeah, we just play it by ear and we see what happens. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on these. Still hoping to get something decent out. Wishful thinking, I think. Right, it's just coming up to 3:45 in the morning, so that tide is on the turn now. That's definitely starting to come in. Just reel both the rods in. Left hand side, little whiting, little pin whiting, just like the one before, tiny little fin. Right hand side, I had the whole squid on, pulley pedal, totally stripped, totally. No squid on there at all, just a little bit of bait elastic. So I'm guessing crabs have been having a little play around with that. But yeah, we've put fresh bait on, we've cast back out. It's not properly raining, it's not properly sleet. It's still a little bit just sort of in the air, it's just sort of blowing around really. Flask is still hot, luckily, just made myself another cup of tea. Oh, like I say, 4:45, another hour, 4:45, 5 o'clock. By the time it gets to 5, that tide will well be coming in. And then an hour after that, and that should start getting light then. We should start seeing a bit of light. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea. Cheers. Oh, right, just got to 5:30 in the morning. G's just turned up. I said G would be up and about early. He's just come down, he went to McDonald's, bought me a nice cup of tea down. So, I don't even know how hot that water is in that flask now. But 5:30, 6:30, the sun will be coming up. But that's what I'm going to start. As soon as a bit of light comes up, that's it. I'm going to get the stove on the go, start doing my sausage and my fried egg. And yeah, still as yet, no big torrential snow or sleet. We've had a few little bit of drizzle here and there, but nothing major. Nothing to write home about, shall we say. Anyway, I'll put fresh lug out. I've got 2 fresh lugworm left, and I've got about 3-4 squid left. So after the lugworm, I'll just be putting little bits of squid on that 2-hook flapper. But there's still time, isn't there? There's still time to get something out. It ain't over till it's over, as they say. Oh, here we go. Well, that 2-hook flapper was knocking a little bit. I thought it was something decent on there, but I pulled it out and we got 2 whiting on there. None of them are great size, but double whammy. And that was the last of the fresh lugworm as well. I've got them out on. Right, we're getting them off and we're getting back in while they're alive. Oh, look at this for a whiting, look. Literally, a little bit of squid on there. Look at him for a whiting, look. I'm going to measure him up. I reckon he's got to be about 32 centimetres, easy. Easy 32. Right, we'll get him unhooked and we'll measure him up quick before we throw him back. Mate, he's a fat boy, look. Oh yes. Yeah, I said he was in the 30s. And what's he come up as? 33. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's fat, he's got a fat body to him. Mate, quite impressed with that. Quite impressed. Oh, let's wait for this wave to come. That's the one. Other side of that. Oh, mate, what a fatty he was. quite impressed with him. 33, I said he was in the 30s. Nice. Oh, well impressed with that whiting. 33 centimetre whiting. Oh, nothing all night, and just to get into it. And do you know what? I've just started doing my breakfast. I had the stove on, just started doing some sausages, and as I was bending down doing that, G started shouting out, and he goes, mate, he goes, your left hand rod. And I looked at it, and it was knocking, and then it stopped, then it knocked. And I thought, right, I struck it. I reeled it in and started reeling. Didn't even feel like anything was on there. I think he was swimming in with it. I was reeling up, there's nothing even on there. And then literally when he got about 10 yards out, he started kicking. Then that's when he started putting up a fuss. And then that's it. Then I knew there was something decent on there then. Can't believe how thick and chunky his body was though. He was real meaty, he was. Really meaty. Yeah, very pleased with that. Oh, right, it's now 10 to 7. G's just made a move. He's heading on back. I've had nothing out since that whiting. Nothing, it's all gone quiet. Breakfast on the go though down here, look, my sausages are all cooking up nicely. My eggs cooking up nice. That's going to go down a treat, that is. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably eat this, and then I'll probably eat that, bait up, do one last cast. While that last cast is out, start packing a bit of my gear up, and then when I reel that in, that's it, start packing down. Probably called it a day, so it's going to put it, I don't know, 7:30ish, something like that. I'll probably be packed down. But like I say, I got here at 2:30 yesterday afternoon, so I've had a good little fish. And like I say, at first I was blanking obviously, and then I got those little ones out, which saved the blank. But getting that whiting out this morning, an hour ago or whatever, that has definitely saved it. 33 centimetre. I can't believe how like fat and chunky, but when you held him, you could feel him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, very pleased with him. So no cod, no rays, no dogfish, but a killer whiting. That'll do me. Just in the process, just packing everything down. I reeled this one in. Little dab on there, look. Just caught on his lip there, look. Tiny little dab. Oh, I think that's the last fish of the day, I think. Right, we'll get him off anyway, we'll throw him back in. Right, that is it, done. Just coming up to 10 to 8 in the car, packed away. Loads of stuff to bring back off the beach, I'll tell you. That's the only thing, when you're night fishing and you take the beach shelter and the stove and loads of stuff. Fortunately for me, I've literally got a 2-minute drive and I'm home. I cannot wait to get in the shower, I'll tell you, I cannot wait. But all in all, I'm going to say it's a successful night. Like I say, we didn't get the cod we was after, or the rays, or any dogfish, anything like that. But that whiting, I think, kind of made up for it. We've got like 33 centimetres. And he was, oh mate, you could feel the strength in him. So I'm happy to get that whiting out. Right, anyway, hopefully this video is better than the last one. Like I say, apologies on my last one. Like I say, the wind was really bad. I have got a case to go over the camera, but on this camera I've had a screen fitted on the back, and because I got the screen fitted, it's now too big to fit in the case. So I've got to get a bigger case, and then that will totally eliminate any wind noise once it's in the case. Hopefully last night there wasn't too much wind noise coming through, because the last video was pretty much spoiled really with the wind. You couldn't hear the audio at all. So hopefully on this one it's been a little bit better. Probably going to be a long video as well. I'm guessing it's going to be probably about an hour long. So if you've sat through and you've watched the whole video Absolutely awesome, guys. Massive thumbs up. Like I keep saying, every time I put a video on, my subscribers just keep going up and up and up. So again, if you enjoyed the video and you're watching me for the first time, just hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and then it gets on more platforms, more people get to see it. It really helps boost the channel, which is awesome. It's good for myself because it's getting my videos out there, it's getting them seen. It's good for other guys that are fishing, that live local, because then they can see what's being caught. Normally on my videos I show where to park, how to get to the location. Do you know what I mean? Some of them are quite sort of full of helpful information as well, so it's kind of good for everyone really. Right, that is me done. 2-minute drive home, shower, and then I want to mess around, sort all this gear out, and then upload this video. So right, absolutely awesome, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Right, just a very quick one. I've just put photos on my Facebook page, on my fishing page, of what the fish were caught last night. Also put a photo of that whiting on there. So for those of you shouting at the YouTube video, going, that is not a whiting, that is not a whiting, well done, that is not a whiting, unknown to me. Apparently it's a coley. I've never caught one before in my life. And I did think he looked a bit different. I did think the mouth was different, but we're kind of limited to some of the species we sort of get up here. And I didn't think we even got them up here, but apparently we do. So yeah, my bad on that, my bad shouting, 33cm whiting. And for those of you shouting at the YouTube video going, that ain't a whiting, what's he on about? Yeah, it is a coley fish. So there you go. Right, anyway, that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys.